Okay, team, listen up. We need to save Diablo 4. We made an expansion for it and it didn't work. Everyone hates the game. The game is not dying, it's literally dead and it's shit and no one's playing it. The average player attention is 3 hours after new season launch. That's not enough to sell them a Portal skin for $50 or a Mount skin for 100? 120? Bob? How much are we going to sell the Spartel skins for and mounts? 200. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's add in a loading screen wallpaper or something. Why not? 200 buckaroos. Some idiots would actually buy it. In any case, unironically, Diablo 4 is complete dead shit and a mess overall. An expansion didn't do things. People just made fun of it. I made fun of it. The story is just uniquely stupid, honestly, even for a Blizzard product. And everything surrounding the game currently is bad. Items bad, gameplay bad, seasonal mechanics. We're on season 7 or something, and it's the worst season so far because it's just a complete recycle of every mechanic we have already had in the game, and it's boring as fuck. Okay? Not good. But a new expansion is gonna save everything, I'm sure.
Hey folks, this is Riker, and Diablo 4's second expansion was just casually stealth announced like it was no biggie. Also, loot boxes are coming back to Overwatch 2. Nintendo is going all out in its legal war against Palworld. And the new Path of Exile event is making a controversial change to one of the best systems in the game. Also, old Bobby Kotick has been talking some smack this week. We got a chance.
I love Bobby. No, seriously, if there's one person from Blizzard I respect, it's Bobby Big Dick Original N-word Kotick, okay? He is the true G. He is the gangsta full generation, okay? Bobby held the shit house that we call Blizzard together. He was the glue. He was the dam. He was the legend that made this shithole function. And without him, I said this. I told you. Without Bobby, in a year or two, this company is gonna go down in flames. And it is. And it is.
Packed episode, so buckle up. Now, if you're playing Diablo 4 Season 7 and need any guides, I keep my video content categorized on my website, Riker.com, which brings us to a word from this video's sponsor.
Sure. Not today, though.
Riker. Starting with Diablo news. From February 18th to February 25th, the Mother's Blessing event is back. That means a 35% XP boost and a 50% increase in gold drops. But that's not all. Turning in Grim Favors during this event will grant you an additional Gift of the Tree cache. And these are going to give Collection of Chaos caches. Because, yo dog, I heard you like caches, so I put a cache in your cache. And these Collection of Chaos caches.
I remember seeing a video where someone recorded how long does it take for a cache to fully drop all the useless shit. And it was something like half a minute or more. So no thank you.
Contain, it's a lot of hard C sounds, contain unpredictable rewards. So we'll have to figure out what exactly those are. If I were to guess now what it is, then it would not be unpredictable. It would be predictable. So I won't even try to predict it. I don't want to make liars out of them. Now, normally I don't talk about Diablo Immortal, but I just wanted to highlight the kind of events that Diablo Immortal gets.
I mean, at this point, I mean, Diablo Immortal might as well be Diablo 4. I mean, what's the difference?
So they are currently undergoing the Valenti event, as in Valentine's. And that started on February 11th, and it's running until March 1st. And it has like 7 different mini events throughout it, running on different schedules. Now, half of these events are different kinds of PvP events. But then there's also Survivor's Bane, which is a unique game mode where you start without any gear and you're given one single random skill from your class. And then as you are playing, you just like auto cast your equipped skills. You gain XP orbs as you defeat enemies, and these let you level up and unlock more abilities, including getting abilities from other classes. So you're just kind of like randomly powering up. It's this sort of like roguelike mini game, and it's just like a neat, crazy idea.
That at least that sounds honestly cooler than Diablo 4 itself at this point. That is sad.
Yeah, that makes for a fun, limited time event. I'd love to see something like that in D4. Even if it turns out to not be fun, it's just like, it's nice to try something crazy. Then there's the All Clans on Deck event. Again, still talking about Diablo Immortal here. Your clan needs to hunt down and eliminate elite enemies before the time runs out, basically. And rewards for this event will be sent to all clan members via in-game mail once the event ends. So it's just a nice little way to incentivize your clan to, work together without necessarily having to play together, but just you're working towards a common goal and you get rewarded for your efforts. Clan functionality is just criminally underused in D4. And while, yes, most players play solo, I bet a lot of those solo players, if not most of them, are still part of a clan. Whether they play with their clan or not. Maybe it's just a group of friends. Maybe you're even in your own solo clan because it costs nothing to make a clan and you just have a nice little clan tag or whatever. It would just be nice to do something with clans. Anyway, the big Diablo 4 news this week was the reveal that the game's second expansion will launch in 2026. Blizzard's Rod Ferguson just casually dropped the announcement at DICE in Las Vegas this week, which is a bit of a shift since major Diablo...
But Rod Ferguson probably knows. No one cares about the Diablo 4 anymore. He's probably thinking, oh, which new game I'm gonna go to and destroy? Wizards of the Coast, my dude. You would fit in perfectly, being a retard there.
Announcements have traditionally been reserved for BlizzCon or otherwise some kind of big convention like a Gamescom or something. Now, to clarify, all he did was confirm the existence of the expansion and that it would release in 2026. We have literally zero other details, so they could still do their full proper reveal. Early 2026 is already what I was predicting for the release of Expansion 2, so this isn't a shocker, and I'm expecting we'll get the full reveal this summer. Now, something I did not expect, however, was the announcement that we're going to be getting a roadmap soon to cover the more immediate future of D4 throughout 2024.
Roadmaps. Roadmaps are a double-edged sword, and shit companies always find a way to magically, cut themselves with it. You know why? Because roadmaps are either hype generation or hype killers. In bad games, a roadmap is going to kill the hype because, bad games are bad games for a reason, and the roadmap is just effectively telling your player base, hey, player base, our game is shit. Look at how many boring things we're gonna have in the future. That sound bad on paper and probably feel even worse in real life. Good games, though, have roadmaps which people are hyped about. Lost Ark is a prominent example of this. People are hyped about Lost Ark roadmaps because they're great, because the game's great. And that's it.
5. So the expansion will not be on the roadmap, but it will be a 2025 roadmap. And for those unfamiliar with the concept of a roadmap, here is World of Warcraft's 2025 roadmap. And I would actually be really surprised if we get anywhere near
Yeah, this is so dumb because no one likes this roadmap. It contains pretty much almost everything typical. Oh, wait, no, this is just a VOD within the roadmap. And, oh my god, it's so much nothing. They're trying so hard, and it's sad.
This level of detail in the Diablo 4 roadmap, but heck, if we do, I can say hell, come on, it's Diablo. Hell, if we do, man, would that really help drum up hype for what's to come. Now, with the lunar event coming close to ending, we can thank it for once again reminding us how terrible the conduit shrines continue to be. Instant regret every time they are clicked. Diablo 3 conduits were the best. I don't understand why we can't just have Diablo 3 style conduits. Another pain point that Season 7's power creep highlights is how boss rotations are another thing that aren't in a great place right now. When the ladder bosses were first implemented, they were celebrated. Great addition to the game. Then our builds became so strong that we were basically one-shotting them. So then the devs implemented a system that let us buff those bosses, greater challenge for greater reward, while consuming more boss materials at once. So we're spending less time just sitting there respawning the boss over and over and over. But then what happened was Progression 2.0 arrived with Season 6, and difficulty was then tied to Torment level, and at the time it was believed that a Torment for Uber Boss would actually be a challenge, but we are one-shotting
LOL.
them, so we're back to the old.
Well, what are people surprised about? This is I can tell you the downfall of Diablo 4 in a nutshell in like 2 minutes. Fucking time me. 10, let's stop at 12 and see how far we get. Okay, it's 12:20, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go. Diablo 4 starts. There is no endgame. People want endgame. Endgame gets added. Endgame is a little bit too hard. It requires too much materials. It gets made easier. Endgame is now easier, still people pissed. Endgame gets made more easier and accessible for everyone. And so does all of the game constantly. Blizzard initially did not listen to anyone's feedback. Not the fans, not to anyone. And they just did their own thing. And their own thing sucked dick. Everyone absolutely hated the living shit out of it when they tried to do something unique. All the players left. The only people that were left were mega super fans. And then Blizzard decided to listen to them, who literally have a fucking slop tube attached to their throats for constant slop consumption, and they will never say anything that Blizzard does is bad. And these people want gratification and recognition for everything they do. Thus, the game becomes easier. At this point, white items don't matter, blue items don't matter, yellow items don't matter, anything but just triple affix buffed legendaries. That's the only thing that matters. That's it. And this trend has continued onward and onward and onward. So everything needs to be accessible, everything needs to be farmable, everything needs to be doable instantaneously, everything needs to be skipped to the end game. That's why 1 to level 60 doesn't exist, it's just a chore, and that's pretty much it. That is the state of Diablo 4. That is how the game fucking died, because Blizzard decided to listen to fucking cretins when they themselves failed. And all the normal people are tired of this because there's no challenge, there's no nothing. There's just stupid dopamine drops that don't even work properly.
Problem is,
well, there you go. See? 2 minutes. Everything that's wrong in Diablo, compressed, easy.
It's just tedious and not fun to just spam a boss over and over and over in a little room with no mechanics, no risk, no challenge, no real engagement. Now, the real issue here is that we have grown
the moment they add even a slight bit of challenge, the same people who everyone's gonna rebel and say that that's a horrible choice and give us back, but make it even easier. That's what's gonna happen. No exceptions.
Are too powerful far too quickly to be obsoleting Torment 4 content. But at this point, I don't see the devs doing a major nerf across the board. I'd be fine with it, but most people wouldn't. I don't see them doing this. So at this point, bringing back the ability to juice boss fights seems like a fair idea. Now, we do have some good news right around the corner. Patch 2.1.2 is dropping next week, and it's finally addressing the Necromancer's Ring of Mendel. The item was bugged, it was not correctly applying certain buffs to the ring's damage proc. That will finally be resolved. Then in some Path of Exile news, the Legacy of Frisia event for PoE 1 continues to build up hype. In addition to all the new ascendancies, this event will introduce a new endgame specialization system that replaces the Atlas passive skill tree. Instead of that, you're going to get now a new type of item drop called idols, similar to idols in Last Epoch. These idols can be placed in a special inventory holder, just like in Last Epoch. And these idols will have affixes on.
Smart, again. Last Epoch does so many things right. And again, hot take, I kind of like Last Epoch still more than Path of Exile. I mean, Last Epoch just does it for me. I don't even know why, but it just does. It just hits right there where I want it to. Well, maybe when other classes and the other skill gems get released in PoE too, then that's gonna change. But hey, PoE should steal the good things from Last Epoch, because Last Epoch is an amazing game.
On them that will modify maps similar to how the Atlas passive tree does. Now, the reception to these have been mixed. People really like the passive Atlas tree, and this is a step away from the determinism of...
We could easily just have both, I think, honestly.
That system, and towards being at the mercy of RNG drops or trading to be able to modify maps as you desire and engage with the content that you want to engage with. And solo self-found players in particular will be hard hit by this. Now, GGG did address some concerns in an FAQ. Idols will not be rare, you'll have a 50% chance to see one drop from a map boss. And while players were speculating that GGG was using PoE 1 to beta test the idol system for PoE 2, GGG dispelled these rumors, plainly stating that no, these were just throwaway ideas from the past, and they have no current plans to use these for PoE 2. They will, however, make the idols, as well as all the new ascendancies, available for use in future private leagues, which is awesome. And the new ascendancies really have everyone really hyped. I mean, they literally have one called the Surfcaster, who can actually make use of the fishing rod Easter egg item. You can spec into having all of your hits turn into critical strikes while you're holding a fishing rod, and getting 50% more cast speed while holding a fishing rod. We also got a trailer for
That's
Legacy of
big.
Frisia, along with a release date. The event will launch February 20th, which is actually a lot sooner than I expected. We learned that by reaching certain level thresholds in Legacy of Frisia, you're going to receive pieces of the Autumn Night armor set, so you got cosmetics to earn there. And we can see that we're able to save 3
Is it finally time to finish my Ignite Flicker Strike source? Is it? Is it?
different loadouts of idle configurations, which is a really nice quality of life feature. It's kind of like the Armory in Diablo 4, but for your map setups. But I turn the question to you folks, what are you most excited about? Then in some Activision Blizzard news, kinda adjacent related, former CEO Bobby Kotick recently made some waves with his candid thoughts in an interview on the Grit podcast, which
Let's
is a
go, Bobby!
business-focused show. Yeah, apparently we're not done hearing about Bobby Kotick. Since he no longer
True legends never die. Do you think that's fucking Mercy saying? No, that's Bobby Kotick's fucking life. Bobby!
needs to even pretend to care about his public image, he just liberally crapped all over the
The fucking strong don't care about the opinions of sheep.
Warcraft movie, calling it terrible and one of the worst movies he's ever seen. According to him, the movie was
Wait, which movie?
to care about his public image. He just liberally crapped all over the Warcraft movie, calling it terrible and one of the worst movies he's ever seen. According to him, the movie was not just a failure in his eyes, but also a major distraction for Blizzard, impacting the development of World of Warcraft, its expansions, its patches. He even suggested,
I mean, he's 100% right about that. I mean, you're fucking making a movie, dude.
that the movie contributed to the burnout and eventual departure of Blizzard veteran Chris Metzen in 2016. Kotick explained that since the movie deal had been signed before Activision acquired Blizzard, it was something the company had to push forward with, even though he personally thought it was a terrible idea. He described how many Blizzard developers became caught up in the movie's production, helping with casting, visiting the set, and just altogether diverting attention away from their primary work of making him money, making games. As a result, World of Warcraft suffered delays, expansions were late, patches weren't being released on
Bobby needs his money.
time. Now, I won't pretend that the
I mean, he's still fucking right. Like, Bobby Kotick is 100% right on this.
Warcraft movie was amazing, but it was a solid
It wasn't
7.5 out of 10.
amazing.
There have been far worse video game movies. And while it didn't do well in the Western world financially, it was hugely popular in China. It did made 10 times more money in China or something. And that's why for a while there
Okay. Let's check. How much did the World of Warcraft movie make? 439.1 million. That sounds like a disaster, considering, given its 160 million production budget and 101 million spending on promotion. Oh, that's actually not even that bad. The film needed to earn 455 to break even. Wait, what? How the fuck? Wait. What do you mean? Given its 160 million production budget, yes, production budget is salaries, production budget is set pieces, production budget is reshoots, production budget is CGI. Okay. An additional 110 million spent on promotions. Promotions, aka advertising. How many fucking World of Warcraft trollhead popcorn buckets you could sell? The film needed... How the fuck does the film need to earn 400 to 500 million to break even? Production plus promotion is the fucking total budget. How is this... What the fuck? In any case, so it's a flop, you're telling me. Should be a win, but it turns out to be a flop. I don't fucking know. How is that even legal?
There were talks about making a sequel aimed just at the Chinese audience. Now, Kotick also took the opportunity to crap on former EA CEO John Riccitiello.
Based. Based.
Don't make me agree with Bobby Kotick here. Kotick brought up Riccitiello.
Bro, again, Bobby Big Fucking Dick Super Schlong Dong King Ultra Mega Pink Kingpin Double Triple N-word Kotick is a goddamn legend. How many times do I need to tell you people this?
Because former EA CCO Bing Gordon was also on the podcast with Kotick, and Kotick praised Gordon, saying, quote, "Our fear was always that Bing was going to run EA, and we would have paid for Riccitiello to stay a CEO forever. Like, we thought he was the worst CEO in video games." In case you forgot, Riccitiello is the guy who talked about microtransactions to make you pay for ammo reloads in Battlefield. And without directly mentioning Riccitiello, a little bit more diplomatic, Gordon basically threw Riccitiello under the bus by criticizing EA's business decisions. Prior to Activision...
I mean, EA is shit. And EA is one of the big companies of history that's going to go down probably soon. At least it has the makings. The EA stock doesn't make sense. It's somehow super stable even though everything is going to shit. And EA has lost opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. I mean, I don't know how EA is not going to get the shit, honestly, if someone asks me.
Merging with Blizzard, Gordon revealed that EA was among the publishers approached to buy Blizzard, and EA declined the offer. He said, quote,
Damn.
"Call of Duty, Guitar Hero, Blizzard, EA saw all of those first and passed on all of them." He added, talking to Kotick, quote, "While you were doing Blizzard, that EA passed on, and you were doing King, the mobile game developer, EA did PopCap, just stupid things. Man, imagine what world we would live in today if EA had bought Blizzard right as World of Warcraft was hitting its stride." Now, Bobby Kotick also said on the Grit podcast that he would never have raised the subscription fee for World of Warcraft, but not out of the kindness of his heart, of course. He said, quote, "You'd be shocked. 150 million people churned out of World of Warcraft throughout its life. That's a crazy number. Those are people paying $15 a month. It was the best subscription business of all time." And when the podcast host suggested that they could have raised the price a bit, Kotick said, "We never raised the price. My view was we come up with value-added services, come up with new things to sell, but just leave the price. We could figure out how to come up..."
Again, you may hate Bobby Kotick all you fucking want, but in my eyes, the man's a fucking legend. That is just fucking primal business right there. He fucking knows. He fucking knows. He doesn't even doubt it for a second. He knows the more people they sucker into that fucking shit game, the more people are gonna buy fucking $100 Broncos. He knows. Bobby. You may say whatever you want about fucking him. He's the Lord of Hell for all I care. But man, the guy is a business fucking machine. I respect him for that. Bobby fucking Kotick.
Up with
What a
other things to
legend.
sell them. And it's a prickly audience, you know? You don't want to do too much to agitate them. And even a $1 increase would have been a problem in my view. Now, it should be noted that subscription fees kind of went by the wayside once microtransactions took over as the dominant form of monetization. World of Warcraft is one of the rare games that gets away with still having a sub fee, and I think Kotick recognized that and didn't want to mess with that formula. But what do you folks think? Was the Warcraft film really as bad as Kotick?
The reason why he is okay with actually leaving it as it is because if World of Warcraft says that they are ditching the subscription fee, the first thing that's going to happen is panic over World of Warcraft dying, because that would instantaneously just signal that even World of Warcraft can no longer maintain a subscription fee because declining numbers. And people would buy it. I would certainly definitely agree with that point to a degree if it ever was brought up. Well, there's a lot of nuance that needs to be discussed there, but in effect, that would be the majority opinion, and that would mean people leave World of Warcraft. Not people start. The news would spread far and wide that the World of Warcraft dead, and that would be bad. So that's why he never removed it in the first place.
Kotick says. Then, in some Avowed news, the game is set to release on February 18th, and reviews are starting to roll in. Currently sitting at an...
Oh, no one cares about Avowed. I'm gonna check how many players it has at the 18th. What a fucking joke. Anyway, that was good old Riker Summer. 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye.